Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro and Tom Kokoza. How are you today, Jen?
I'm doing good. I'm happy that we're here. We're talking about Wheel of Time. We have some exciting stuff to talk about tonight. A
Hmm.
little bit of tiny bit of news. So I'm excited to get going.
Tom, how's it going?
I'm doing I'm doing well, Joe. And a tidbit of news is always fun. It is unbelievably cold
Mhm.
here in the New York
It is
area.
a tit nibbly.
Yeah, I was explaining to my young son this morning how we were walking. I was walking him to school, and it was about 28 degrees in the morning Fahrenheit, which is cold, but just regular cold. It's just below freezing. And I was explaining how it's just cold out now. Keep your hands in your pockets, you'll be fine. But tonight, going into tomorrow, it's getting into the single digits before the wind chill gets factored in, and then when you go outside, you die. So,
Yeah, it's
Great.
and then he's like,
I've got a
it's,
I've,
it's, it's
I've got a feels like negative 15 right now.
You
yeah.
do?
Yeah, it's
Oh
six
my
it's 6
God.
degrees outside
Yeah, I
right
think it's
now.
about 9
But then it's going to
now.
be like 50 degrees on Monday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna drop to
I've
negative
only got a
2.
feels like -4 right now.
Oh,
I
-5.
feel like I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go outside just to feel how cold it is. Just
I
you know.
do have to go outside tomorrow, which
No,
I
Me
no,
am
too.
I mean like
thrilled with.
tonight. Like
But it's going back up. So like it says 10
Sunday it'll be
degrees. No,
Sunday it'll go back to regular winter. It's really
2
only like a day and a
2
half.
p.m. tomorrow. By 2 p.m. tomorrow, it's back up. It's rocketing up to like 23 degrees.
that's
But
insane.
that's like a normal human
Yes, it's
temperature.
normal February.
I'm cold. It's okay. I'll be fine. It's not snowing. It's okay.
Um, the uh the literary the literary great Jim Davis, creator of Garfield, the Garfield comic strip. There's a Garfield comic that has stuck with me since I was a little kid, where it's just Garfield in his little cat bed with his blanket like pulled over his head, and like John, his owner, is trying to get him to wake up. Because I think it might be Groundhog Day or it's February 1st or whatever. And he just goes, the punchline, as these things were, is February is the Monday of months. And I think that's so true.
Yeah, it is. It's probably the worst month of the entire year.
Well, that's why it's the shortest, right?
Sure. But that's
Right.
Valentine's Day and
Yeah.
Valentine's Day
President's
is
Day.
only nice if you get to celebrate Valentine's Day with someone.
Yeah,
Well, I guess.
that's
I don't
true.
know.
It's a good point,
To
Tom.
love other people.
What? I'm sorry. I'm
You
trying to wrap
love
my head around that.
you can love other people, not just like romantically.
Oh,
Yeah,
gee.
but it's not Valentine's Day is not for Valentine's Day is not pleasant to celebrate if you love other people. It's pleasant to celebrate if other people love you.
No, I don't mean like I'm in love with somebody that doesn't reciprocate. I mean other types of
That's what
love.
I mean. That's why Valentine's Day is not a great holiday for everyone.
Whatever.
All right. Anyway, Joe, I'm as you can tell. Oh,
I had to cut you off. Welcome back to another edition of Where's What Origins, where we search and scour the planet for any trickle or trace of information about the final 2 episodes of What Origins. Tom, do you have anything new to report?
um so it's a funny thing that you asked that, Joe, because the answer is no.
Jen, to you.
Where is What Origins? No, you know what? I think we should release a book that's like Where's Waldo? It's called Where's What Origins, and you look through it and and the trick of the book is that there's nothing on any page.
I could
You
just
just
give I could just give
There's
somebody
just-
any book and just be like, here, put a new cover on it
Find
that
Where's
says
What
Where's What
Origins?
Origins, and it's
and
just
you can't find it. It's not
just
there.
like a Lord of the Flies. By the
No,
way,
picture book, Joe. It has to be a picture book.
okay. By the way,
Give me a Richard Scarry.
we're totally gonna be doing we have to do a news like a news broadcast version of Where's What Origins.
Okay.
Like one of us is the anchor, and then we throw it to somebody else, and they'll be behind, like, with a green screen
okay.
behind them, and we'll put them in like
Yeah.
different places, and we'll do like a whole
Okay.
like a la the Daily Show.
I'm 100% for that.
All right, so
I think if What Origins ever comes out, we have to all stop what we're doing and do like this just in news break.
yes,
Just like
Yes.
broadcast. We're just going live on Discord immediately to break this news.
it'll just be like a movie. I'll be like, I'll hack into every network television show in 15 minutes, and we'll get on the air, and we'll broadcast through every place on the internet all at once. I can do that, no problem. Give me 10 minutes.
It's bypass the mainframe. I think that's what you're doing.
That's all you gotta do. Is
I
bypass
just
me.
want to just call back to the beginning of Jen's answer, because I really thought she was going into the how do I answer an essay question when I don't know the answer kind of a thing. She's
Ah.
like, where is What Origins?
In this paper.
What is
I will-
What is Origins? What is What Origins?
In order to truly understand this question.
It's like the Lucy from Charlie Brown song in the musical about writing this book report on Peter Rabbit. She just stretches it out like ridiculous words.
Yeah, that's all.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And there ends another
Next
edition
time.
of Where's What Origins. All right, it's time to get into some, yes, I'm about to say it, news. We actually have some news today. How do you like that, people? It's not
I like
anything
it.
super, but it's, I don't know, kind of super, awesome. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything else. to
Super
do.
okay.
All right.
All things considered, I couldn't be better, I must say.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is the official Wheel of Time Twitter account shared a new piece of concept art, not for season 2, unfortunately, but a piece from season 1. It was the Blight. It was a really cool picture of Rand and Moraine like approaching the Blight, with all the trees and everything. It was just like the show, I guess, except it looked like daytime. I think in their picture. In the show, it was a little bit darker. But anyway, the piece of art, I noticed on it, it had the artist's name. His name is Philip Storch. So I decided to Google him, and I found his art station where he has a lot more Wheel of Time concept art that we have never seen, I don't think. I don't remember seeing any of these. But there was a lot of pictures. There was a whole Tarvalon kind of like album with outside pictures of Tarvalon, which are gorgeous. Some of the inside shots, also some of the cityscape and whatnot. And they also had a shot of like where Moraine has tea. I guess it's like an inn or something. I'm not sure. And the bathhouse as well. So go check those out. And then there were some additional shots of Shadow Logoth, some ones of Faldara, some really cool concept art of Faldara, and then some concept art of, I guess, Lan gutting some sheep.
I don't think that's the picture actually is.
That's what it looks like, though. I know he's not, because he's got his sword out, swinging it right where all the
Yeah,
sheep
that
are
is
dead.
weird.
So pretty cool. And then there's a great shot of Rand trying to smash the door down with Dana in the room. I thought that was really cool.
Did you see? I think he looks like you in this picture.
Yeah,
Except
you
your
were
hair is
saying that.
red.
I'm not.
I don't know.
guess
Something
so.
about like his
Oh
face.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Looks like
his-
Joe,
yeah. The
right?
eye, like the T around the
Yeah.
eyes, nose. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. There was another picture in here too of what I guess was Logain, and he was inside a palace or something. And speculation is that this is from one of the scenes that didn't make it into the show. It's a really cool scene. Check it out. There was also some concept art of Tom Maryland playing
Oh yeah.
a kind of really cool, old school looking upright bass, I guess. And then I'm not sure, is this Alana? I'm not really sure who this other one's supposed to be. It's clearly an Aes Sedai of the Green Aja, but
Yeah, what's that weapon she's
she
holding?
has a big long like glaive or something.
Like a Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah, it's really
Looks
cool,
like.
but I don't know who that's supposed to be. But yeah,
The
check
Tom
out.
Marilyn kind of looks like Alexander Viome a little bit.
It does. It's
I
got
don't
his
know.
nose and
Yeah.
eyes, I
Yeah.
think.
An
This guy
upright
has longer
bass.
hair though.
That'd be kind of hard to travel with.
Yes, yeah, definitely not the traveling type.
This is cool.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Some Shadow Logoth stuff as well. So go check it out. I'll put the link in the show notes. It was fun looking through all those scenes because you were able to kind of pick out which ones I recall from the show and which ones I didn't see in the show or don't remember from the show. So that was really nice. What did you what did you guys think of these?
I didn't realize there was so many. I thought you shared some of this earlier, but there's some stuff here of like Trollocs coming up to the wall in Faldara and like scaling it. That's disappointing.
Yeah, I
Would
was
have been
looking,
really nice to see in the show.
I know I was noticing those Faldara ones and I was like, oh, this might have been like what originally was going to happen, maybe.
Yeah.
It's clear as day out too in this shot.
Yeah. They've had to make it dark. Probably was easier.
Yeah.
And then
We did
that's
see Trollocs
disappointing.
scaling the wall, I think, though.
We did? Oh, a little bit. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, they were scaling the wall. We definitely got that part. Maybe not these angles.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
So-
I love his. I just love the first shot he has of Faldara.
Yeah.
It like just the like I guess his concept of what the city looks like. I don't know, for whatever reason that really captured my my imagination. They're really cool, and like there's a like I was like, you know, you were joking about the Tom thing with the gigantic upright bass lyre instrument, but like a lot of that stuff is stuff that looks like it really made it into the show, which is, I think is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of these sets are like almost exact.
And the one these are from 2020. It looks like they're all, well, most of them are stamped. And I mean, I'm seeing March. Well, actually, I don't know how they have it. If it's year, is it year, month, day? The way the date is at the bottom?
I don't know.
I think it's year, month,
Oh,
day.
yes, this is 19 then. Some
Yeah, so some of these are from,
11, 25, 19. Yeah.
2020, 2019.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Really cool stuff though. I really like I already downloaded one and made it my wallpaper, so
I didn't
Which one?
realize, like, oh, go ahead. You can answer that first.
the Tarvalon shot. Not the first one, the third one
Oh, yeah.
with the
That's
White Tower and the bridge.
that second Tarvalon shot really makes you realize, like, there's just no railing there. It's just going straight
Oh, shit,
out.
yeah.
If you slip off the edge, like, you're dead.
Yeah, that's
It's
dangerous.
just like, I mean, it's beautiful, but I mean,
And that stone looks slippery.
yeah, don't go
It
too
looks
close
like it's
to the edge.
not a lot of grip in the rain.
Yeah, that's too easy to kill somebody. The Black Aja would be all over that.
Yeah. Oh, she
Who do you think took the
fell.
guardrails down?
I do like in the first shot of Tarvalon though, you can see part of Dragon Mount in the background there. That looks really cool.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It is very cool.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah,
is.
it's a really cool
But I'm
shot.
glad you got the penis shot in as your wallpaper, though.
Yeah, now I'm looking at the other one, and I think I might switch it to the other one.
The Shadar Logoth picture, like the wide shot of shit. I didn't even know what that was. Like
The
the big,
circle?
Yeah,
the
the
big
wall-
circle.
yeah,
The
Yeah, it's
circular
like a,
city.
yeah. I didn't realize what that was. That's crazy.
That's it. I changed my background now. You made me change it.
So the first one.
Yeah, to the first one of Tarvalon. It looks so much cooler.
And the concept art looks like like the people that are cast, it looks like exactly like them.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh. Well, he probably knew some of the
Yeah, right.
some of the people that were
Like the
actors.
Shadar Logoth shot of like Egwene and Rand standing looking out over the city. It looks like exactly what they wear and everything.
yeah,
Yes.
So that's
really
pretty
cool
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
Very talented man. Check out. There's also stuff from Carnival Row. I guess he did concept art for
Yeah.
Carnival Row as well. He works for Warhorse Studios, which works out of Prague, so it makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah, some other cool art in there too. I just wanted to move along too. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. So, the Wheel of Time book consultant Sarah Nakamura tweeted out. I mean, she hasn't tweeted in a while, and it was kind of a nice doozy, kind of filling us in on what she's been doing the last few months. And I guess I'll just read the tweet straight up. The last 5 months in London creating season 3 have been magic. I spent more time than ever in the writer's room for the daunting and exciting process of framing out each episode. I'm grateful that this crew is so open to my in-the-moment reactions and feedback. The creative process is precious. I was given the space to engage in a way where no one worried about saying something out of pocket to the expert. I'd say big fan. And we could have true dialogue. For many, this type of technical discussion can dampen the creative thinking process, but it was welcomed. Now I can't wait to walk the halls, streets, paths, and roads at some of our favorite places in the Wheel of Time. And then it's accompanied with a picture of Sarah sitting on the Amerlin seat. So,
Nice.
there's a lot in there.
Mhm.
It sounds like they're done because she said it's hashtag homecoming, Twitter time, Wheel of Time. So can we speculate that they're done writing season 3?
That's what I picked up from it. That she said now it's time to be back on the sets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get any indication of when they're going to start filming, but if they're done writing,
It's okay. They don't have to start filming yet. Just like to see season 2 first.
well,
They have a lot of time. They have a ton of time.
They started filming season 2 before season 1 aired.
Right. I mean, they probably will start filming it, but
When do you think,
they can
summer?
start filming it in like June, and season 2 might not
No,
be
I
out.
think,
They have to
if
cast.
they're done now, April.
But they have to cast. We haven't heard anything about them casting anybody for season
Well, they
3
probably
yet.
had to write it first and then cast it, right? Can't cast it until you know who's in it.
But some of the people who are definitely going to be in it, like immediately, and then you've got your other people who, we've got to put this person in and that person in. But I'm sure they knew, like, we're putting in, whatever, Amis and
Sayo.
Ruark and the
Some of those
Panarch.
people might be in season 2 already.
Right.
That's also true. Yeah, we don't even know that. But you know what I'm
Right.
saying? There are certain characters are going to be in it. So how long does it take to cast? If they're going to start casting now.
I don't know.
They don't. They're like finishing casting doesn't have to happen for them to start production,
That's true.
right? For multitude of reasons. One, because they have a lot of the cast in place, they can film that stuff, scenes with those people as soon as they are ready to go. And two, because they can schedule production to work through getting like newer actors stuff later on in the production schedule, right? So yeah, I think that there's still plenty of time. The stuff is written now. The rest of the pre-production work is done. And I'm sure they're doing some of that simultaneously in regards to finding locations and doing all the rest of the work to get those locations secured for them, and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I would think that they would probably want to start in the spring as soon as they can, right?
Mm-hmm. Time to keep an eye out for all the actors and where they're going and movements.
The reason I say that basically is this: like, if you're filming for a long period of time, like a television show that has a lot of scenes that end up taking place outdoors, unless you're filming a scene that takes place in the fall or a scene that takes place in the winter, you want to film all your scenes in the spring and the summertime, because the other two seasons you can't pretend. It's very difficult to pretend that the fall and the winter is the spring or the summer.
Well, they're also going to be going to places like Morocco and maybe other places where you don't get seasons like we get seasons here. Or you could always, if you want to film summer in the winter, you go to the southern hemisphere
True,
where it
but
is
they're
summer.
not doing. They're not. I don't think they're going to the southern hemisphere.
Maybe they go to New Zealand.
Right. Yeah, that's it. No, I think that it's likely that they're probably going to want to start they're going to want to film in the spring and summer months and wrap up by the fall.
Yeah, I
That
hope
would be
so.
my
I
expectation.
hope so.
And then we can wait in 2025
Oh my god.
for the next season.
I did want to ask about some of the comments
It'll be
that
so
Sarah
old when the show's over.
did make. Um,
Really old.
Sorry, Joe.
she said, "I'm grateful that this crew was so open to my in the moment reactions and feedback." And how she talks about how she was given space to engage when no one worried about saying something out of pocket, you know. So what do you think? You think Sarah had some input onto some of the ways that the stories panned out, or maybe some of the ways that they got from point A to point B?
It sounds like she's got a bigger, I don't know if a bigger part, but a more collaborative role in the season 3 writers' room than prior.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right?
don't really quite understand what she was saying there. Like, no one was afraid, so people were just like saying whatever they wanted to her. Like, that's the part I'm not really understanding what she means. I know she's trying to sound positive, but what I took from that is like not positive, so I'm confused.
I think she was saying that maybe some of the writers could be intimidated because they didn't want to say something that didn't happen, like, you know, say something wrong about the books with Sarah around because she's so knowledgeable about them.
Yeah.
And I think she was saying it was good because people didn't feel that way.
But out of pocket means like out of line, right?
Uh,
I thought it meant
I think she meant
So
like
that's why,
not.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like misinterpreting that phrase or something.
I don't know. I kind of took it as like they're saying something that didn't really make sense in the books
Okay.
or was wrong, maybe.
So
That
everyone just
from the
kind of said
books.
whatever and didn't feel like she was gonna say like make fun of them for not knowing or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I read that as like in the moment, out
Oh,
of pocket.
in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, like I felt like I mean I know in for the first season she created a Bible for that
Hmm.
people to go, and then she was like a resource if they had a question about the books or they wanted to run something by her, but she wasn't like necessarily like an active participant in the writing of the script. She was a resource for them, right? It sounds like to me that she was much more of an active participant in the creative process here, right? Even if that wasn't like, no, change it back to the way that it was in the books.
Mhm.
I think that she felt like there was more engagement back and forth, whatever it was, and I think that's encouraging to her.
I think
You know,
I think you know, and I think she might have said this too when in an interview, maybe on the Dusty Reel or something. But I think she also like kind of acts as like a continuity check. Like if writers come up with some ideas, then she might have to say, well, you know, this happens later on. So then how does that fit in? If like you change this, like we have to be concerned
Yeah.
about some other thing down the road that maybe the writers aren't aware of because maybe they haven't read all the books. I'm sure they probably don't know every detail of the books, but you'd
I
want
mean,
somebody there
oh,
to.
sorry.
I mean, I'm sure Rafe's there too, obviously, but you know, Rafe's probably got a lot more on his mind.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably another important key piece that she plays is, you know, saying, okay, that's a really cool idea, but I just want to let you know that down the road this happens. So we're going to either have to figure out a way to get from there to there or figure out how we're going to change that. And we might want to think about that before we do it because before you know it, you know, we've snowballed and now we're writing something totally different. Sorry, Jen, you were going to say something.
It's okay. I was pretty much gonna say the same thing.
Oh, I'm glad I
Like
said it
maybe
first.
Rafe isn't around as much because he's working on other stuff too at this point, like other shows. So maybe like not
Well,
that he's not around. I'm sure he's there, but like maybe having her there too is like oh, we don't have to bother Rafe with like this question. We could go to
yeah.
Sarah with it.
He seems to be pretty involved with the writing because I mean he
Yeah.
did say right when he was on Dragon Mount's interview he did say like he just came off a break
Hmm.
with them, so I think he's there for I have a feeling that he's pretty intimately involved with the writing. I gotta get that from like the interviews that he's
Yeah.
been in.
Yeah, and I mean his own social media, like when he's on vacation, he's still working on like
Yeah, and he's a writer
writing
too.
stuff or whatever.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's by
So,
trade.
but
So it's not like he's a whatever a DP or something like that who became a showrunner. All right.
who would you
Any other?
so,
Go ahead,
so,
Tom.
just because you mentioned it before, Joe, who do you think is like the biggest new character we get in season 3
Season
that
3.
won't be in season 2?
We're trying to guess who's not going to be in season 2, but season 3.
Because remember, the Aiel are in season 2, right? Like at least some of them. We don't know
Savannah and
who.
Couladin, possibly Asmodean,
Yeah, I
Fael.
think
Fael for sure.
anyone.
That's probably the biggest character that would probably be introduced. Fael at that point, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Maybe some of the a bunch of Aes Sedai. I'm sure that I mean it depends on which ones they pick, but there's going to be Aes Sedai, like more important Aes Sedai that play roles, like maybe Lelaine or Ramonda or Myrelle or some of those. I don't know. There's a ton of them. It's hard to say.
Alviarin's on the show.
Alviarin, yes. I mean,
But I think you're right. I think
Galena,
Fael's
yeah.
probably it.
Fael's probably the biggest one. Trying to think if there's anyone. I mean, do we get? I mean, they're not. It's not a specific character, but the Alfin and the Ilfin. That would be.
Ooh,
That would. If the
That's not a
storyline.
carrot. Well,
No, I'm not
probably
saying that. I'm
carrot.
just saying like they're important, but you're right. They're not like individuals, like but as a group.
man, I can't. I mean, we're gonna get to a completely far afield here,
Yeah.
but like, I at the same time can't imagine they're going to do it,
I know.
and cannot wait until I see it.
They have to do it, and it's gonna. I don't know. Well, let's get into That's another conversation. I think that's like a next year conversation. Probably we'll do a deep dive.
Put a
I
pin in
want
that.
I want to get into our continuation of naming who's who in season 2. We went through about 16 or so other unconfirmed actors that are speculated to be on the show. We were guessing who we all thought they were going to be and tracking their guesses. Once the show comes out, we'll see who was right, who was wrong, and try to figure out who did the best job. And I don't know, ring praise on them for hours. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But we do have a few more left, so we're going to head into that and continue on our journey. So let's wrap this up. Let's finish this up and try to guess who these last few actors are. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Michael Amariah. So this one was found from WhatSeries.com. He is simply credited as a Gleeman in episode directed by Sana Hamri, who is directing episodes, I think 3, 4, and 7 and 8. So that doesn't really give us too much. And he's also just credited as playing Gleeman. So do you think he's just a background character, possibly, or do you think maybe he could possibly play like a speaking part or a more important role?
I have him as just like a gleeman,
Yeah.
like while they're traveling
Take him at
in
face
a
value.
tavern somewhere. Yeah.
Do you have any high hopes, Tom, for this Michael Amariah?
Well, I hope that he does a great job playing a random Gleeman in a bar. I agree with you. I think that's where he's going to be. But I think, yeah, I could see him being like, if Matt gets out of the tower and goes to go dicing somewhere, and you start to see that Matt Luck, appear for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He could just be there, and there could be some kind of call back to the first time Matt saw a Gleeman in a bar. I kind of remind people of Tom Maryland. Maybe like he talks about how like the last time he met a Gleeman, that guy, died for him or something like that.
Ooh,
But
Mayhem saying in chat, sneaky peek at Asmodean. Do you think this could be a little tease? Maybe Asmodean appears in this season, maybe at the very end or towards the end.
I
just
don't
as
think
random
so.
gleemen, and then
We're
in
doing
season
it
3,
again.
what are we doing again?
Everyone that's cast is a main character.
That is our podcast, Jen. Everything is, no matter how little and tiny, it is all huge and important.
No,
Okay.
he's a gleeman.
I don't think so either. I just wanted to bring it up. Mayhem made an interesting point, and I wanted to
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I wanted to
Mayhem.
point it out and run it through the crucible. All right, the next person we have is Natasha Jaya Henry. She is a suspected cast member, and this one was found out from the Redanian intelligence on what is that? November 17th in 2021. It was reported that she had already finished her part. Already finished her part.
When do they? Is that? Are you saying that's in like the first 4 episodes?
I don't know when the filming was at that point, where they were at that point. No, that they started filming in May, I think, of 2021.
Okay.
No, or was it? No, they finished July. I think it might have been July. Sorry, July, I think 2021.
Okay.
So this was, I don't know, somewhere in the middle, I guess.
All right. I'm sticking with my guess here.
We have no name, nothing. What are you going for, Jen? Who do you think this is? Natasha.
I'm gonna go with Renna.
Oh, I like that.
know
I
she's
like
in
that.
it. I don't know if when she finished filming has any kind of makes it that I can't think of words. I don't know if that affects that, like if she was finished too early or anything, but I'm gonna stick with it.
Tom, do you have thoughts about that, or your own thoughts?
I do have my own thoughts, but I have thoughts. But I like that. I think that that's cool. Um, if I didn't, if I didn't know by Marcus's confused reaction to your question, I would be like wildly assuming that this is like a Fail appearance
Mhm.
somehow snuck into
Oh, wow.
season 3, because I
Yeah.
could see her playing Fael. It's not exactly how I picture Fael looking, but I can see it. Oh, what question? So someone in chat, Matt the Innkeeper, is asking what question. When we went to the New York Comic Con, Joe asked a question to Marcus, like about whether there would be a possible love interest in season 2, and Marcus was really confused and started to make reference to possibly Hopper, and like was
Yes.
looking at Rafe in a way that I interpreted like looking at Rafe like, am I gonna be falling in love with a wolf right now? Is that what's happening? Um
Uh-huh.
No, Rafe
and,
jumped in and said, right, he doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't know about that. He said.
right. Like Rafe knew what Joe was getting at. So yeah, with
I
that,
wasn't
I'm
even
gonna
asking
just
about Fael. I was asking, well, maybe I was vaguely, but I was asking about him getting over his grief for his wife to
right.
make room for a love interest. Like, I was interested
That's it.
more in how they were going to tie that up.
You did a possible future, like it was like very coyly.
It was coy, yeah.
But anyway, no, I think that I would guess that I'm gonna guess that she's an accepted or something to that effect.
Okay.
In the tower.
All right. I like her for, she's 5'6", which isn't extremely tall, but that's taller than average for a woman for sure. I got her as an Aiel. I don't
Okay.
know if I'm ready to name her though. You know, who's the Dalen? Is that the one who dies, right? When they
Yes.
get, right? She's the one that Nynaeve
Yeah.
heals and then winds up dying.
Yeah.
Do I want to put her as
Yeah.
like that's? Do I want to get that specific?
I don't think that scene's gonna be in the show, so you don't.
We do, right, in one of those leaked audition tapes though. There was a scene with, it seemed like Perrin and Avienda, and Perrin saving Avienda's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds
it's
like
not gonna
there could
be
have
like
been an
with
attack scene, and
Nynaeve.
maybe there was a character like a Dalen type character. Well, I guess Nynaeve wouldn't be there, but
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of other maidens' names that they could just use as like a throwaway name and somebody who dies. I don't know why I'm trying to kill her, but
Yeah.
But I imagine there's a
Everyone
battle
dies.
and Aes Sedai are there and maidens are going to die. So I'm saying Dalen. I think it's D. I think I'm spelling it right, but I'm going to put Dalen.
D-A-I, I think.
I thought it was D-A-Y,
Oh, there's Dylan.
but she's D-Y-E, right?
Yeah,
Maybe it's D-A-I. I don't know.
it doesn't matter. We know who you mean.
All right, let's move on. This is a big one. Natasha O'Keefe. All right, so this is an officially released cast member at the New York Comic Con in 2021. She was revealed with Mira Sayal. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence in this one for who she's going to be playing. I don't know if everyone's going to agree or even is happy with that. So I guess, Jen, I'm going to start with you because I know you have pretty strong feelings on this one.
I'm sticking with Elida for this one.
Elida. Okay.
I'm not giving up on it.
Tom?
Yeah, should I say what I wish or what I think? What are we doing here?
You can say both, Tom.
Yes.
All right,
tell us
I
what
wish
you
It's our
Elida.
show.
You wish
I
Elida.
think that she's going to play. I'm going to be mean, but I'm going to be mean.
Don't
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna-
We already
I'm-
had this conversation.
No. I'm going to be coy like Joe and say like it's the comment is mean, not me. This is just a mean thing. I don't think that she's pretty enough to play Lanfear, but I think that she's playing Lanfear, and I think that I think that she's physically miscast in that role. But I think that who she's going to be playing.
I want Elida, Jen, and that's who I was thinking of in the beginning.
Yes.
I think she'd make a awesome Elida. I think she'd make a brilliant
Yes.
Elida just from she was in what's it called?
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, thank
Blinders.
you. And she's really good in that, and she can come off. She has that ability to come off like Elida. I think she'd be brilliant as it. But I don't know. I feel like these clues, right? There was the stunt double for the bloody woman, right? Who fits the same, I think, physical characteristics as
Okay.
Natasha O'Keefe, who's tall.
Let's-
who's kind of like a lot. She's got like a Leane figure. Like if, to be honest, I could picture her playing Leane from the description in the books because she's got that kind of like tall, thin, lithe body. But, and then I'm sorry, and then we found out who the actress was who did the doubling. She posted pictures of herself, and then we also saw the teaser with the bloody, the woman with the bloody hand, and we're all convinced that that's Lanfear. And then, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on. There was that short clip that somebody took in like a screening of some sizzle reel that we saw, and we're almost positive that was her face, although it was hard to tell.
Okay.
Was hard
And
to
that
tell.
would have not been anything Elida did, unless that was
dream.
Elida having a
Or
foretelling.
a foretelling.
It could
Okay,
be
wait.
yes.
While I wasn't listening
Ooh.
to anything you just said, I was looking up
I was
Natasha
going on for a
O'Keefe
while.
and the girl that I think is playing Lanfear. I don't know if it's Maja or Maya Simonson, because you said Natasha O'Keefe is tall. Natasha O'Keefe is 5'9", and Maya is also 5'9". She's 5'9" and a half.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're both brunette, tall, similar looks to them. I think that, let's see the ages. I want to go with, let's see how old.
Yeah, is that Elida having a foretelling?
How old is
though?
Natasha O'Keefe? 36 years
Yeah,
old.
she's
Oh,
in her
she's
30s.
young. Why did I think she was older? Okay,
She
Maya.
doesn't.
Maya's like a model. She's a model.
Yes.
Her
But
mo-
can she act?
I don't.
She
does-
has acted before.
How old is she? It's not going to be on this page. How old is Maya?
I've sung before. It doesn't mean I can sing.
How old are you? How old
All right.
is Maja Simonson?
Thanks, Jen. So now I'm
It's
torn
not
because
applicable. Or this one says 29.
No age. She's
29.
ageless.
she's ageless. She's already got the ages. Oh, 29. Okay.
Age 29. I'm looking at all these different websites. Some of them won't tell you. Age 29, born 1993. Country of origin, Denmark. That makes sense. 5'9". Yes, that's her. You want to know her measurements? Because I have them right.
No,
I
I
won't
don't.
give them.
I wouldn't.
I won't go
wouldn't be
that
able to.
far. But
I don't know them by heart.
oh, I
Yeah.
have them here. I'm not asking you for them.
Elida, is that Elida having a foretelling?
Yes.
It could
She's
be.
on the floor, lying prone on the floor on her back, and
Maybe
then
the
Yes.
foretelling for her. Maybe they
think
do
she
like a
falls
dead
down
zone kind of
and-
a thing where she's in the vision. You know,
It doesn't have to be the exact same
you say, I
way
always-
that we think of foretellings. You know, it could be like, yeah, like you're in it. This is TV. You can't just like say what your vision is like they do in the book. You know,
Yeah,
you
they
have
make
to
it
like
very visual.
show it to everybody.
Tom, I'm just thinking of the Dead Zone sketch from Saturday Night Live with when Christopher Walken's a guest. He just it's like stupid things. I don't even
Right,
remember
you
the
left
example.
it's like you left your keys at home or on your desk. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. But I'll say this: I think Natasha O'Keeffe is an amazing actress, and like whomever she plays on the show, like I'm going to enjoy watching her play that part. Right.
I also would rather her
I
play
think
Elida
that
because it's just a better part. If I was an actor and
Well,
I had to choose
you know,
between
I
these two
don't wanna-
parts, I would rather play Elida. I think it's a better part. It's a better part
There's, it's.
I don't know about that.
for acting wise. Like if I was an
do-
actor,
I
I'd-
like that part better. I think it's much more.
it's got much more deeper character. It's got much more complexity to it than Lanfear, who's pretty shallow.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why
I
are
feel
you
like
saying it
Elida-
like that?
I don't know. I don't really agree with you. They're both good. I think
Ooh.
I don't think Elida's bad, but I think there's more to Lanfear than meets the eye. Like she's a transformer.
Like you should transfer.
I think it's
There
she's all
definitely
surface.
is. I think
But
I
there's so
think
much
that-
like raw emotion that goes into her. It's probably going to be really fun to play.
Yeah, but Elida also has some pretty raw emotion.
Matt, how did I know you were going to think Elida was boring? How did I
feel
guess
like-
that you'd be on my side in that argument?
I think Elida, like to me, like playing Elida would be like playing like Humphrey Bogart in the Kane Mutiny. Like you start out like a normal authoritarian person, and then you're like a paranoid maniac by the end, and like that is a fun transition to play.
Yeah, sure. If any of us saw that movie, maybe we know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just one of the best movies ever. I apologize. That
The
no
Kane
one, no one's
What
seen
is
Mutiny?
it called?
The Kane Mutiny. Yes.
I've
Yes.
never even
There's a
heard of that
called Citizen
movie.
Kane. Have you seen
Heard
that
of
one
it.
too?
Citizen
Oh
Kane,
my
I've heard
God.
of.
Kane.
I've never heard of the Kane Mutiny.
All right. Well, look, I apologize, listeners, that I do this show with two uncultured swine like this.
Philistines.
Citizen-
So anyway,
The Citizen Kane Mutiny. Yes.
I'm Michael Caine.
Let's move on. I'm gonna say Lanfear.
I was just
I'm
I
gonna
wanna-
I'm gonna put
okay.
that on Lanfear, even though I want it to be
I
Elida.
forgot what we were talking about.
I just wanted to say one more thing.
Go
I
ahead.
think that Elida's part might not be as big in the show.
I think
Oh.
I feel like they have an
So, that's
opportunity to
another reason.
really dig into her. She's such a fun character. She's such a fun character to hate, and I don't think if you don't really dig into that on the show, I think you're missing a huge opportunity.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay, next.
Elida is
Okay, what are you?
I don't know. She's such a good example of people don't have to be evil to be bad.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't have to be
You know?
working with the devil to be bad.
Right.
Sounds like
Um,
an 80s song.
I just
I don't know what it-
Matt in chat is every once in a while just putting in how exciting it is to read about Elida, and he's very much distracting me from doing this show.
Because playing Elida is like hoping to read an Elaine POV instead.
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
Poor Elida.
Rachel Denning. So this is an unconfirmed actor. This was reported by Watt Series, and according to her CV, she will be appearing as Naomi, likely in episodes 5 or 6, as director Maya Vervillo was credited. So Naomi. So this is another one. We've got a name, but there's no Naomi in the books. At least I don't know if there's any Naomi in the books, but definitely not spelled like this, Nyomi. So code name, red shirt, New character,
I don't know.
combined characters.
I
By the way, I believe, if I remember correctly, she's a little person, right?
Oh, is that her? I
Yeah,
couldn't find a picture of her.
I think she is a little
Oh,
person.
okay. That changes things. And let me think.
Okay. Well, what were you gonna say?
I had a question mark because I was trying to think of who she could be. Naomi. I mean, she could be one of the Shaunchen, like a, I don't know, like a
Give me,
Damani.
be a
I
little
mean,
bit more
not a
specific,
Damani, like a Sildane.
Dakoval, Saldam, one of the blood.
So I don't know. Say Solda, a Soldame.
Saldam.
Let's make her
Okay.
a Soldame. I don't know
Interesting.
though. I don't know.
Tom?
Not 100 on it, but you can put it in.
All right. So when we originally discussed this possible casting, I believe I had said that I would like her to play a wise one, and I think that kind of kind of gives some kind of narrative foreshadowing to Avienda's eventual fate, that you don't need to be a physically perfect member of the Aiel society in order to be a wise one,
Mm-hmm.
and still contribute well wherever else. But I feel like I've been saying a lot of people are Aiel here, so I feel like now, like, I don't want to do that, even though I think that that's probably the best answer. What I don't want, and I'll say this, I don't want her to be playing a part because she is a little person. Like, I don't want her to be a member of Val and Lucas Circus or anything like that, or like anything that like is I don't know, tropish. So I hope she's whoever she is playing, she's just playing a person. Um, I will say, if not that, I'm trying to think of what else. Like, there's not going to be, other than maybe Rand and Carrion at like some point in this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel there's going to be as much like characters meeting ordinary citizens in this season,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, yeah, the only thing I can say, I'll just say this: if not that, I'm going to say she is a like a merchant in Falm, something like that, just like a person there.
The Merchant of Falm.
Yes.
If you prick us, do we not bleed? Yeah, this is a tough one. Naomi, I feel like she's gonna be a background character. Maybe someone they meet in a tavern, possibly. Then I'm trying to think of like taverns that they stop in the second and third book. You know, there's the tavern where Matt kills and fights that one guy who's gonna assassinate Elaine. There's the tavern they stop in where with Paramoraine. That's with Fael though, with the fade. With
None
the
of the
gray
things you're
men.
describing are going to be in the show.
Well, that one's not going to be there at least yet. There's Matt's, Night of Luck taverns. Ooh, maybe she's going to be like one of the people that Matt's gambling against, and then they wind up going after him after. I'm going to say an angry gambler.
Okay. I just have to go back to something you just said. Perrin, Moraine, and Fael are never going to be in a tavern together. Just can't. Because when
Write that down somewhere. We'll see.
when would they ever not like in the way that you're describing?
It happens a couple of times in that book.
On that.
Yeah, but not in the series.
That part of the book is not happening.
Moraine probably will never meet Fael.
Right. She's going to the waste.
Yeah.
And who even knows when he's going to meet Fael?
I don't know.
So,
I have no idea.
that's battle.
I can't answer all these questions. Stop pressuring me, please.
I just wanted to point it out. That's all.
Raga Ragnars. So this is another suspected cast member. Her next project, this was what series, and quote, her next project was said to be a very big project. I think we've also seen possible images of her on set, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not 100% confirmed, but it did look like her.
I just wanted to sing. Can I sing something?
Go ahead, Jen. I think we're all going to think she's the same person because of that picture.
Oh, yeah. But no, I was just going to sing something from what you just said. You said, my project is a very, very, very big project.
Big project.
That's what I thought of. Sorry. Anyway, can I go first?
She
Since
was
we
in
all have the same
Morocco,
answer?
right? In CLA
Yes.
Studios. Wars, is that right? Was she in there? I know she was in
Come on.
Morocco. That's
Come
where
on.
that's where the picture was
Here.
taken. Appeared to be in
Won't let
fall.
you go.
No, he won't.
She is a 6'2", right? So she's very tall. Now we're talking great candidate for an
She's
IEL.
6'2".
She's
She's
188
not an
centimeters.
IEL.
Go ahead, Jen. Who do you think she is?
Brigida.
Brigida.
Write it down. Put it in bold. Write
Write
it
it in pen.
Write it in
Control
pen.
B.
Non-erasable pen.
Tom?
On your computer screen.
Just
Yeah, write it on the screen.
I'm writing with a
Open-
Sharpie
Open
on
the
my
file in
computer
the same
screen.
spot every time so it goes right into the box.
Tom.
Yeah, I agree with Jen.
All right. I would love to see her as an IEL, but I'm pretty sure that picture was her. And she was definitely dressed in an outfit that was very reminiscent of what's described in the books as what Brigida wears. Moving on to our next actor, Raquel Cipriano. So this one was
Raquel.
discovered by Watt Series, and according to her CV, she will be playing a novice in an episode directed by Thomas Napper, who is the director of episodes 1 and 2. I don't know if there's much with this. Do you think she's an important novice? Somebody that might play a part later on?
I think she might have a line or two.
But you mean like
maybe an
Fallon or
expository
Pickford or something?
dialogue or something like that's where we take the tests down that hallway, something like that. Like something. That's Shiriam.
Yeah.
You don't want to go. You don't want to go in her office.
She's going to be like, that's... I don't know how old she is. She doesn't look that young. But I don't know how old she is, though, to be a novice.
So what? You could be a novice when you're like 30 years old if you're not very good at it.
Oh, poor her, then. I feel bad for her, then. She's clearly not good.
Let's just see.
Yeah. How about you, Tom? You think anybody important?
No, and I'm going to take it even a step down from what Jen did. And I'm going to say she's going to be a novice who's going to be walking out of Sheriam's, offices or whatever, chambers, just rubbing her sore bottom from having been spanked. And that's her part in the show.
Do you think we see the spanking?
No, I think you
Is that why they cast
that she has been spanked by her
an older woman to be
her
to be a
terrific
novice?
acting in the scene? That's my guess.
Novice spanked by Shiriam. Okay. I'm gonna say she's I feel like it's gonna be something similar to what Jen says, but probably not that. Not even the line. I would think she
No?
would get a name if she had a line, right?
Raquel. I don't know.
She's
I
a
can't see what
no-line
she looks
novice.
like. No line novice.
No line
No,
novice.
no.
All right,
It's not very nice.
let's move on. This is my favorite name to say ever. Rima Tewiata. So this is a Watt series find, originally identified by a fan, Gardenia, from the season 2 behind the scenes video. If you remember, she was in that. There was a picture shared on social media in December of 2021 of her in Prague. Rima was in Prague, and I remember that picture because she had an owl perched on her arm, and she was dressed. She actually kind of looked like a tinker the way she was dressed, although she has the name sounding of one of the sea folk. Any thoughts from you, Tom and Jen? Who do you think Rima Tewiata will be playing in The Wheel of Time season 2? Go.
Shiriam.
Oh, Shiriam. You have a Shiriam even older than I do.
All right, then I'll go on that same I'll say Anaya.
Oh, she does have a very Anaya look to her. I like that a lot.
And I found out in the interim between when we first found out about this and now that I've heard her in something because she does like an animated show that's on Nick Jr. My kids watch.
What show?
Ooh.
Kiri and Lou. It's relatively new. It's like I don't even know what it is. I think they might be dinosaurs or some sort of I don't know, whatever. It's like a weird fake claymation animation kind of show.
Oh, cool. Never saw that one.
It's newish, or at least it's new to America.
I would like her to play a sea folk. The owl, was the owl any indication of her role? Was she trying to tell
she was
something?
no.
No.
Can't go by her real clothes, her real name, or the fact that she had an owl on her arm.
Maybe
and her
she
off.
just came out of filming and was walking
And she
around
took
Prague
the owl with her.
with the owl and her
I
costume.
forgot to return the owl.
She forgot to return the owl.
God.
So you're saying she's in Harry Potter? That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say she is. Who is it? Bear? Is that the white-haired wise one?
Sure.
Who can't?
Yeah, I
she's the
think so.
Dreamwalker.
Well,
who
and he
can't-
says
who
white
can't-
hair too.
Oh yeah,
Bear's,
but
like,
Bear's
actually
the older
old.
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has the. Yes, she's the one who can't channel. She's the Dreamwalker who can't channel. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Sally Saleh or Saleh Salih. I think it's Sally.
Sally.
This one comes from the Redanian intelligence. She was in
Good
Prague of July 2022 and may have been filming scenes with cast members Madeline Madden and Kate Fleetwood. So that is Egwene and Leandrin. She is actually credited, right? So in the beginning, we didn't have a name, but according, I think, to her CV now, she's listed as Elsa Treehill. So, right, we got a change in season 1, right? They changed the Grinwells from, she was Else Grinwell, and now she changed to Helga Grinwell. And then they said, all right, now we've got a new character, Elsa Treehill. My guess is that they originally planned on it being the same person, right? And they maybe had to rework it because of either scheduling or COVID or something like that.
If it is the same, I don't understand now that there is no Elsa Grinwell and the point of her is gone. Why have this character? Unless she's just another person and they gave us the name as like a wink.
She's probably just a novice, a named novice who does some of the things that Else Grinwell
But
did.
she, like, the whole purpose of being there, I think, was like because Matt was supposed to know her. You know, like Matt would remember
Yeah.
her, and that was supposed to tip us off maybe to the fact that it wasn't really her or something. And then you find out later, like, she left ages ago. You know, whatever it was.
Yeah, people in chat are pointing out that Treehill is Nicola's name, who's
Nicola.
Damn it, I didn't do it.
You're doing it, Jenny.
I held it in.
Nicola.
I didn't want to literally sing
Sorry.
every.
What,
Well, that's right. I had
So
to try hard not to sing her name as "Say You, Say Me."
so she's a combination between Else Grinwell and Nicola. So she can play that. Yeah, I guess
All right, then I'll let it.
the whole point isn't for Matt to know her, but remember she's the whole point is that Lanfear, disguised herself as her.
Right, but then by Matt knowing her is like a tip off, and her ignoring him, and he's like, "That's not how she acted."
There's also, I mean,
That's like a slight like tickle in our brain to be like something's off here. It doesn't like outright say anything.
But I think the bigger clue is later on, right? You find out that she had gotten thrown out of the tower before that even happened.
Right, but so that's the second clue.
Yeah, that's I think the bigger clue.
Right. The first one's like a little tickle.
But anyway, so if she's filming scenes with Madeline and Kate, those are either White Tower scenes, right? Or I'm bringing you to the Shanchen scenes. So
yeah, but no, I think that she'll be playing at least at one port in the show. She will be playing Lanfear.
Yeah, you think?
Right? She's going to be Elsa in the tower, and she'll
any
be.
chance that she is Lanfear? Sally Saleh is
No.
Lanfear.
No.
So we're just saying combination.
No, but I think it'd be cool that instead of like Else Greenwell running away, or maybe she does run away and come back later on to play the Nicola part,
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
So she's just playing. So who's she then? She's just literally a combination of Else Else
Yeah,
came well
I
in
think
this
she's. I
book,
think
too.
she's functioning as Else in this season, which is actually being Lanfear pretending to be a novice in the tower. That's all.
But where is she? She's out of the tower.
No, she's in the tower. She's a novice.
No, I mean, but like, if Lan fears her, where is she for real?
Where's who
Like,
for
you
real?
can't have Lan fear intimate, pretending to be a girl that's gonna like come around the next corner.
Oh, it'll be like Back to the Future 2, where like Marty's playing on the stage and crawling above the stage at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. Oh wait, who is Nicola? One of the girls that's on the ship with
Yes.
Mogedion? Okay,
Yeah, she's the one of the. She knows the secret that it's Mogedion.
she's
Right,
not the
but she
one
has the
that
foretelling as
like
well.
She has the
follows
foretelling.
Brigida around.
No, that's Arena, who's
Arena?
close with Arena, who's close with Nicola.
Okay,
They
okay.
met
Wants to
right.
be
They
her
were
warder,
together,
I
right?
think.
They met them together.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were like refugees or something, or running from something.
Mm-hmm.
Nicola
Okay.
winds up getting killed though,
Oh, spoiler alert!
right? Yeah, she winds up dying in the battle at when the Shonshin raid on the White Tower. Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
wow. Spoiler
Jen,
alert!
are you on board with this Elsa Nicola theory?
I guess, yeah. I mean,
I'm
we
on
know
board
she's
with
Elsa
it too.
Treehill. I don't see any other reason for her to have that name.
Okay, moving on. We've got Stuart Kenneth Moore. So this was found out by actually, I think somebody had posted this on Twitter, and there was an article in a Press and Journal, which is some sort of the Scottish newspaper. And just quoting from some of the language in there, he was in a fairly memorable episode 5 scene. He was riding a black horse through a Czech forest in the cold midnight air. His CV was updated to list stable master. So I don't remember any fairly memorable stable masters, but I think he's talking about the scene is fairly memorable. Do you guys have any idea what scene he could be talking about, and who, if he's,
So
what's going on in the scene? I think the clue, I think the guess in this one is not who he's playing, but what scene is it?
I think it might be the capturing of Egwene, if it happens at night, maybe. But I don't know. I was thinking like he's the stable master that like gets their horses when they're leaving the tower, but then like he's not with them when the capturing happens. So then I was thinking maybe he's like a Shonshin soldier on the other side, but then he's not a stable master.
Yeah,
Unless he's like the Shonshin stable master. I don't know.
I don't remember any stable masters riding through.
No, well,
the
there's
night
like there's like
forest.
soldiers with
Yeah,
with them at the time. That's a pretty memorable scene.
but
Her
not
getting
stable
captured.
masters.
But maybe I don't know.
And it depends. I mean, they can move where she gets captured, but if she's getting captured over by Falm on Toman Head, then it wouldn't have been in the Czech forest. That would have been out in Morocco. But I mean, they could just move where she gets captured.
They're not in like a forest area when they.
They are,
Well,
but
they
they're on
come
the
out of
but they're on like Toman Head, like right
I
by
know,
Falm
maybe
when it
they
happens.
filmed it in the forest.
I mean, they could have.
In
That's
the
true.
Czech forest, they're just filming it in a forest. I mean, it doesn't have to be in the same spot. I don't know. Though. I'm trying to figure out how he is a stable. I mean, that could be wrong. That was his CV that said stable master.
Yeah.
Oh. Or it's like, I know we're pretty much off this idea, but like the overthrowing of Swan or something,
Oh yeah.
the fight
Yeah,
in the town. Like, I can't think of any memorable scene that a stable master is in. Like, I don't know, like riding in the forest at night. That could do something with that, but I don't know.
So you think he's part of the? I'm
I'm
just
gonna say the Egwene capture. That's what I had.
Tom.
All right, I'm going to throw something out there that's not, as far as I know, a scene that's in the books, but something that we've seen part of in some of the footage that we've said, and I think that everything that he said is designed to throw you off the scent. I think that he's going to be playing a Murdraw, or possibly a stuntman for Forsaken when Moraine is thrown from her horse in the scenes that we see in I think that's the scene that he's in. That is a black horse in a forest at night, and we already
I
know
was thinking of that
that stuff
scene,
is
Tom. I was
Did he
thinking
say
of that
the
scene.
memorable scene from the book? Or
No,
just
he
a
said if
memorable-
I told you what my name was, you'd know what it was.
He did mention something like that, but he said a fairly memorable scene.
And that
Maybe he
seems like it would
means
be a
it's
fairly
going to be a
memorable.
memorable scene. Maybe he meant it's
Yeah, that's what I'm
memorable for
saying.
him doing the scene because it was like a
Well,
I
kind
think
of
we
cool,
read
important scene.
that as like, what scene from the books do we remember? But he's saying this is going to be a memorable scene. That's
Or it was memorable for him. Even,
Right.
maybe,
Well,
So that's
Basil
my-
Gill's scene was memorable for him.
yeah.
true.
So Murdral, so riding a black horse through Czech forest. He doesn't. I like the thought of a Murdral. He doesn't come off much as a Murdral, and if he's listed as stable master,
But that could be his clever
why wouldn't they just
his
use like a
clever
stuntman
name
though?
for the
as
fact that he's a horse riding actor.
he is right. He does a lot of combat reenactment stuff, right?
That's how he got cast, because he could ride a horse.
Yeah. So maybe he's a white cloak.
He's a
got
white cloak.
He could be. I can't think of a specific white cloak though. And what the fairly
Maybe he's a man called Boris.
and what white cloaks riding through the Czech forest. We don't think we're getting white cloaks in the forest. We're getting white cloaks at farm. I mean, there could be a
Maybe they're
scene
going
early
to
on.
the Dark Friends social. And he has to ride his
Oh,
horse.
but he wouldn't
Gets
be
you.
Boars, man.
No, that's all done in the dream shard. He just
So maybe he's riding, and then he.
Bah.
I don't know. Who cares?
I
Maybe it's a. I don't know. Maybe it's different. Maybe you have to like step into it.
I don't know who he's gonna play.
Step into
I'm gonna put his
Christmas.
random stable
Step
master.
into the dream shard. Let's come together.
We can play.
Try to think of any
That's
exciting scenes. I like
not helpful.
helping Matt escape Tarvalon. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
throwing that out there. All right. Next one up. We got two more. We're almost done here. Vincent Kirschbaum. This was a recent one from Watt's series. According to his CV, he will be appearing in season 2 as a Sun Palace servant in an episode directed by Sana Hamri. Again, episode 3, 4, 7, and 8. I would guess we're not going to get Sun Palace in 7 and 8, right? Do you think that's safe to say?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
So this is probably episode 3 and 4, somewhere in there. It was awesome to get confirmation that we're getting Kyrie from. I think Rosamund confirmed that for us though. So I will say this: I don't think he's anybody but just a background Sun Palace servant.
Right.
Nothing special here.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't have anything good.
Agreed.
You both agree?
Yes, I think I might have said this before when we talked about him originally, but I'll say it again now, just to throw a wrinkle into it. I do think there's a possibility that you will have flashbacks of Carrion of Maureen as a younger woman, and I'll just say he's in the flashback, just to be interesting.
Oh yeah, I remember talking about that. So your flashbacks.
Yeah, that he's like a person that summons her to the throne, and that's when she flees for Tarvalon or whatever.
That's a good album name or band name. Flashback Sun Palace Servant.
No, it's not.
No?
It's a good album name.
I think it's a good album
like
name.
a third or
Flashback,
a fourth
Sun
album.
Palace servant.
It sounds like one. It sounds like a code for something.
I think Flashbacks to the Sun Palace is a good album name.
This is like part of a code to your crypto wallet. Anyway, our last cast member is Zelia Mendez Jones. This person is confirmed. First suspected in March of 2022 when they were spotted in Prague with other members of the Wheel of Time cast. This was confirmed in a Variety article, so this is like,
For real.
For real.
reals,
Yeah, for reals. We'll also have a recurring role in season 2 of The Wheel of Time. So I guess, I don't know. And I think we debated this back when we got this. Like, recurring role in season 2. Does that mean just limited? Her recurring role is limited to season 2? Or the recurring role is
No.
going to continue on throughout the series? How do you take that?
It could be either. They don't know yet. So right now, all they can say is a recurring role in season 2. Doesn't mean it's just season 2.
Okay. So you think she or they, I'm sorry, you think they are going to be continuing out through the series. So then who is your guess?
My guess is an Aiel maiden.
Maiden of the Spear. Anyone in particular?
I maybe Bane or Chiad, I'm not sure.
Okay.
They're very athletic. They always post videos of like rock climbing and stuff.
Oh, I did not see that.
So, I mean, like indoor rock climbing,
Still,
rock wall climbing, but they're very athletic. So I think
fake rock climbing.
they would be good for a maiden.
I like that. Bane or Chiad. I'm putting down Bane or Chiad because
Okay.
we got to be somewhat specific.
Yes, that's fine. I have Bane slash Chiad slash someone else.
That's a
So-
bit
Taking
broad.
the field there.
It's
All
a bit
right.
broad. Tom.
I had no good guess for this, and I love Jen's guess. So I had cast someone as Bane last episode. So I will say that she'll be Chiad. I like that, Jen. I'm stealing this from Jen.
Ooh. All right. There was some speculation that they could be going a different direction with Galad. That's interesting. I don't. I do like that idea, and I like Zelia for Galad. I
Go
don't
for it. Be
know.
bold.
What'd you say?
I said go
Be
for it.
bold.
Be bold.
I already went bold.
You're bold,
I was
but are
reading
you
something
daring?
else. I already went bold with some other ones. I already don't know what I put. I already wrote a note here, and I don't know what it means. So that'll be fun to come back to later.
Get Sharpie.
I do like a Maiden of the Spear. Maybe a Shanchen, a Geenan.
I already have a
I know you have an
guess.
Ageenan. This is a tough one. I don't want to. I'm not. I want to say something different because Bane and Chiad, you guys both said that already. So I want to try to think of somebody different. Maybe Zelia is all right. Mogedian.
Mogedian.
Yep.
Wow.
That's bold.
That's bold.
Bold.
Fortune
Bold.
favors the
Wait.
bold. So
I
they
have
say.
one. I just have Lanfear, I think.
You have what?
Or I think I thought that Leia Costa might be Mulgedian, right?
Yes, I think.
I
believe
don't
at
like
some
fake
point.
code names, but
All right, we are through our entire list of, at least for now, right? I'm sure we'll get some more coming down the road at some point of unconfirmed actors in the Wheel of Time. We've scored everything down here. We've tracked it all, so we'll figure out what happens when season 2 comes out. Just to recap real quick, Michael Amariah, we all have as Gleeman. Natasha J. Henry, I have Dalen the Aiel, Jen as Rena, Tom as an accepted. Natasha O'Keefe, Tom and I Lanfear, Jen Elida. Rachel Denning, I have an Angry Gambler, Jen has a Soldam, Tom has a Falme Merchant. Raga Ragnars, we all have Brigida. Raquel Cipriano, this is where my note I think didn't type out properly. Jen had a that's whatever novice. Tom has a novice spanked by Sheriam. I think I might have had I have N line novice, but I think I mistyped something. So I don't know what
no
that means.
line novice. No
Oh,
line
no
novice.
line novice. Yes, Jen. Thank
Yeah.
you. My O got chopped
That was
off.
yours.
Yeah, no line novice. Rima Te Riata, I have as Bear, Jen Sheriam, Tom Anaya. Sally Saleh, we both have a combination of Elsa Grinwell and Nicole Trio. Stuart Kenneth Moore. We all know he's a stable master, but different scenes. Tom as a Murdral in that scene with, we think of Moraine. Jen as part of Egwin's capture scene and me helping Matt escape. Vincent Kirschbaum, Sunpal's servant all around. And Celia Mendez Jones. I have Mogedian. Jen has Bane or Chiad. Tom has Chiad. I'm locking them in. Any changes before I lock it in?
No.
All right, I'm
Lock
hitting the
it.
lock button now. Locked.
The lock button.
Yeah.
It's locked.
So let's wrap it up here. I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us in Discord to continue the conversation there. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support us that way. Also, check out our YouTube page. I think we need to do a contest soon, a giveaway soon. Maybe we'll involve YouTube somehow. So stand by for that. I think we'll come up with something, hopefully for next week. Links to all the aforementioned information is included in the show notes to this episode. So I'll include the link to the Twitter by Sarah, the tweet by Sarah, and also the link to Philip Storch's ArtStation, which has some great concept art for the Wheel of Time. So go check that out. Any last words, Tom, before we go?
No, I apologize, folks. I was trying to find a hobo sign for like dealing with the cold weather, but I couldn't find one. I guess I don't really have anything about that.
Yeah, that's sad. That's a little sad.
Sorry, guys. That's all I got.
Okay.
Before we go,
warm,
I'm going to give you
everybody.
2 hobo signs.
I have plenty of hobo signs available for your knowledge. Just nothing about cold weather.
Give us a couple of hobo signs, Tom.
Okay, I will. All right. Here we go. If you see just a circle with an X inside the circle completely, not touching any of the lines of the circle, that's a good place for a handout.
I thought you were gonna say
Hand
I thought he was going to say something
Hand
else.
out, everybody.
Hand out.
Okay, hand out.
Hand out.
Okay.
Oh,
Give us one
okay.
more.
And staying on that, on the X, because X going to give it to you. If you see an X sign with on the top of the X, like in between the V on the top of the X, a kind of a happy face sitting in that top of the X, that means a doctor lives here.
Oh, I feel like we had
Yes.
a Dr. Hobo sign previously.
There's a few about getting care, like because they don't have
So,
have money or medical insurance.
how do they
There's a lot of like
How do they share this? Like, where do you put that sign?
Like
On,
where
a
does one
doctor's house?
go to learn hobo signs?
you
They go to
learn
the
them from other
library and they
hobos.
look them
No,
up on
that's
the
not what I'm
internet.
asking. So I'm a doctor, and here's my beautiful house or my all beautiful office.
Right.
Maybe
Where is
it's
the
on. Maybe it's
picture?
on the side. So like if it's like a doctor's office, there'll be the sign on the lawn and it has the doctor's name and everything.
Yeah.
There's a little symbol on it, and most
And then a
people.
hobo comes up and scratches into my
It would
sign.
probably
Like
be
the
well-
doctor puts up a hobo sign?
Yes, the doctor's hobo
Oh.
friendly.
No.
no. I think that
Hobos
they're
welcome.
more likely on the side or back of the building, like than they would be on the sign that everybody sees.
The doctor's
They're
hobo
not
friendly.
there.
He put it there.
But what if I
Remember-
like wipe them away because I don't want graffiti on my walls?
Well, then
You're not going to do them in
they
graffiti.
gotta
You're
find
going
a new place.
You're going to etch them in.
Like,
Then the hobo doesn't go to that doctor. That's what happens.
Right.
well, that's
If-
what I don't want. Hobos.
If the doctor's not friendly to hobos,
Right.
They'll get
they
rid of
won't
that
be
sign.
on there.
Well, then
Okay,
they go to
they can't go
the
to that
library and
doctor.
they go to NewYorkStateOfHealth.com and they go on get themselves some Cobra.
right. So I'll tell you this:
Hobo.
that side indicates that a doctor lives here, but a lowercase r, perhaps maybe next to that sign, indicates that you will get care. That this person cares for the sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
Right, so it's a
is a
different thing.
doctor, not necessarily going to help you. But if you're like
Right, this
desperate,
is,
you
hey,
can bang on the door.
Like if you're bleeding,
Hobo.
like and the doctor has to help you.
Hobra, that's
no,
a restaurant
Amis-
around here.
Yes, it is. It's a Mexican.
Cobra.
It's a taco place. That's good. Cobra. Hobo. Cobra. Hobra. I like that.
Hobra.
All right, so there we
Put it in
go.
the books. Let's end this right here. Jen, any last thoughts from you?
Nope. Stay warm, everybody.
Stay warm.
Hobo, especially the hobos.
Hobo. Oh man.
Well, I do feel bad for them.
Way to end the show on a down note, Jen.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's hope everyone's
say
staying
something else.
warm.
Say something else. Hurry up.
That's
quick.
what the ferry is for here in New York, folks. It's free.
Just ride it back and
Let them
forth.
take it.
They do have to get off and
Yeah.
get back on every time though, but
Yeah, well, they can't sleep the whole night there, but at least they can stay warm.
that's true. It is nice and warm on the ferry too.
Yeah.
Sometimes obscenely warm. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening, and you'll hear us next time.